Hi there, welcome to SG5. So we've been studying sinusoidal graphs. We know how to do period and amplitude and all that. Now I want to be able to actually graph them. Okay, we're going to do it bit by bit, and we're going to go through and determine what each one of these letters do. And all I'm going to say is, trust me, we're going to start with D because it's the simplest one to understand. Okay, so you should have got an email. It goes to this. So we're going to do it like the other video. I'm going to bring up Desmos right away. And then at the end, or you can go online and look at the answer key to make sure you've got everything done. All right, so bear with me while I remember how to do this. Oh, there it is. Oop, oop. Okay, so here we go. Y is equal to sign bx minus c plus d. There we go. And we got all our sliders. And it says to make sure A is at 1, B is at 2, C is at 0, and D is at 0. And make sure that the coast down here, just for fun, boop, it makes another graph. Yay. Coast is kind of the same. We don't have to worry about coast right now. We used to, but it's just sinusoidal, so we only have to worry about the sine graph. And truth is, if you ever did have to learn about the cosine graphs, a couple little changes and you're golden, so it's not a big deal. All right. It says adjust the slider. So here is where we are. And if I adjust it, woo, look at that. It moves. I can make it move up. And ta-da. And even look at it go. It disappeared. No. It's just, you can see over here, it's set to go from -10 to 10. Okay. Boop. So what happens? Come on, I'm feeling like Dora the Explorer. Say something to the video. No one's probably watching. Or have your kids sit with you. It's going up and down. So what is changes as the value of D changes? My general answer is going to be the whole graph moves up and down. All right, so let me just scroll in so it's a little easier to see here. Yeah, we're good. So I'm supposed to start at 0. So there's D is 0. And you can see, ooh, what's that thing in my graph called? Right down the middle. Yeah, midline, right? So there's my midline. Now, if I change that, let's say if I do change it to 1. Look, my midline's at 1. So D does a pretty good job of determining where your midline is. But what doesn't change is, let's see, my amplitude. So my amplitude is a distance from my midline to the top. So that looks like 1. If we go down, that looks like 1. If I move it to there, so I've moved my midline up to 4. My amplitude, that doesn't change. So, nope. Does my maximum and minimum change as I mess with B? Well, of course it does, right? So as my graph goes up, my maximum is going to go up too. So check maximum, check minimum. Oh, and I'm looking at the sheet and said midline, so check. Does it change my period? So I'm going to scroll a little bit more so I can see. So one period would be starting here, middle of the roller coaster, and getting to there. Okay, so keep watch on that as I move this. Let's move it up to 7. And we're going, and we're still done at 360. So it does not change the period. But that makes sense, right? If you're moving something vertically, of course your maximum and minimums are going to change because they're going to go along with it. It's not like my graph is actually changing shape. I'm going to add that to my general answer. No change in shape. All right, what happens? I'm looking next question. What happens if D is negative? Wow, make it negative. That's why Desmos is cool. It's like, I don't know. Let's try it. Oh, not surprising. That just means the midline is below the x-axis. So unlike sometimes in math, exactly what you expect to happen. It ends up negative. Midline is below. All right, now I'm looking at my sheet and it looks like we need to stare at that graph that I made for us. So time for a new share. Right. There for a sec if you want to see what I did. So the general answer is the whole graph moves up and down. There's no change in shape. The max, minimum, and midline change. Amplitude and period don't. And if D is negative, midline is below the x-axis. Okay, use the graph and the equations below to fix this because it doesn't make any sense. Which value listed above? That's these guys. Does D seem to control? Okay. So take a look at this. I really hope I remember to do these in color for you. If not, sorry. So purple is this one. And my red one is that one. Blue one. Feel like a little kid. All right. So there's my center one. Now it says +1. If you look at it, that's where our midline is at 1. And at 2.5, see, that's where our midline is. So the value of D determines the vertical translation, which I think I said that on one of the previous videos. What does this mean? Where the midline is. That's what we need to know. Technically, it means how far did it move vertically from this one. This is our standard graph. So this one, every single point on the red one is 1 unit higher than it is on here. Okay, vertical translation, that's the actual action. When we come with graphing, what it really means is, hey, this is where our midpoint's going to be. All right, that was a fun video. Thank you for joining me.